Hello, I'm Maria-Pilar Gonzalez, and I'm a hypnotherapist and life coach. And I'm here today to talk to you about stress management. So, first of all, what is stress? Stress is really an outside factor that affects us. And really, what we're trying to do is to control that, how it affects us, right? But the truth is that we don't have really any control over outside factors. What we can control is our reaction to it, right? So how can we do that? Well, first of all, let's understand that nothing that is outside of us we have control over. Now, we're not control freaks. That's not what this is all about. But it's simply because if we feel that we can control the outside factors, we can then manage it. But we really can't. We can only manage how we respond to those outside factors, don't we? Now, what happens is that we respond to these things because it is a way of us staying safe. Now, this goes back to ancient times when we had to keep ourselves safe of danger of animals attacking us or other tribes. And, we didn't have the time to sit there if a tiger was coming at us to decide, well, it's a small tiger, I can handle it, or, well, it's a bigger tiger. Do I have time to run to that cave or to climb on that tree? Well, no. If we took time to think about these things, the tiger had us for lunch and we were done. It was over. So automatically, our literally automatic nervous system, it's our autonomic nervous system, kicks in. And what does it do? Before we can even really think, our body already sends these chemicals to our body so we can have all this strength, so we can run, so we can fight, so we can, respond. Our body gets stronger, we can respond and defend ourselves. Now, obviously, nowadays we don't have saber-toothed tigers, waiting for us behind the door. But what we do have is that, we have these deadlines, we have work, traffic, um, the news, a hurricane is threatening, we have kids to drive around to their after school activities, we have, everything else that may or may not affect everybody in different ways, right? So, but for our body, really for our mind, it sees it still as a threat. So what does it do? It reacts right back at us in that same way. So our body goes into that mode, into that fight or flight mode. Of course, if we have this fight or flight response constantly, and it begins to wear out our body, and that's when we see then all these things that happen when we are affected by stress, right? People can lose their hair, people can have rashes, um, stomach issues, and so many other things, restlessness, sleeplessness, and all that affects us. And of course, the more that happens, stress can really then grow into being anxiety and even a panic attack. So we're here to remedy this. So think about this in another way. When you have all these things coming at you, right? Don't look at it as, everything at once, because the truth is that all of these things you don't have to take care at once. And if you do, quite for honestly, choose 1, 2, 3 and do them in that order, because I mean, nobody can do 3 things at the same time. We can't clone ourselves, at least not yet, right? So let's see it from a practical way. Imagine I had a nice big fat turkey, nice and roasted and delicious, and I place it in front of you and say, okay, here's a turkey and I want you to eat it. You'd look at me like, I cannot eat this turkey all by myself. It's huge. I can't do that. It's too much. Well, guess what? Everything that we have on a daily basis is just like that turkey. You don't have to eat the turkey in one sitting. You can cut it down in pieces and then eat it slowly, right? much more doable. You can actually then enjoy it, right? So let's look at our life and daily chores in that way. Um, First of all, I like to suggest one of the ways to deal with stress is that get yourself a planner. Get yourself a planner, get yourself lists, and then break it down. You can break it down today for the day, this, and whatever you have to do. I have planners. You can use your phone, whatever works for you. I like pen and paper. And what I prefer to do, I have actually nice little color pens, and I write things in colors, what my personal life, my office, and other such things. And I have a much clearer view, right? To me, it pops right out of the sheet what I have to do, what is more important. I even have a section that says what the top 3 things are for the day, etc. And then I go about it. Some things I have to transfer to other days because I didn't get to it. But these are usually not things that must be done right away. They can be postponed, right? But when we write it down, it's just like the turkey eating it in small pieces. You can actually then see it better. It's not so overwhelming, right? You break it down by daily chores, by weekly chores. You spread it over the week, you can spread it over a month, and then it is so much better to handle. It really takes the pressure off you. Also, make a list. Don't keep 50, 20, 10, 15 things in your mind spinning. Oh, don't let me forget when I get home, I need to pick up this and this from the grocery store. Oh, I have to stop and do this. Or I have to. No, because all those things then begin to fog up your brain because you just have too many things spinning and spinning. And what you're doing is really wasting a lot of energy over things that really you don't need to be spinning over, right? So it's like on your phone, if you have too many apps running in the background, you waste your battery more, don't you? Well, the same happens to us. Don't keep all those apps open in your mind. Take a piece of paper, take a nice little list. I love to buy those little um, lists that you can get at the dollar store, and they're really pretty. And boom, 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 boom. I write it down, and then I just go to it, and it's like, oh yeah, oh wait, I had to get what? Oh, I just grabbed the done, and add in a few things if I need to, but it's out of my mind. Or even at nights when you go lay down and things start beginning to spin in your head. You know what? Keep one of those by your bed. I have done it. I've gotten up because things were just spinning. I said, you know what? Forget it. I just get up, go, write it all down. Whoa, it's done. And then your mind is quiet. And I know that in the morning when I get up, it'll be there. I won't forget. I don't have to be spinning, right? So that's one thing. Write things down, plan it out, schedule it out, and the breakdown will help settle all of this anxiety. It's not overwhelming. Another thing that you can do is really be in the moment. And being in the moment, I know it sounds a little, difficult to do, but really, it has much to do with breaking it down too. Because you know what? If you just do the best every minute, and then you do again the best the next minute and the next minute, you'd be amazed how much easier any task will happen. Okay. We can get overwhelmed. Sometimes we don't see the forest for the trees, as they say. So when you're in the moment, you also just focus on one thing, whether it is a minute at a time or at a task at a time, and don't let the other things be distracting you and thinking of them, but just focus 100% on what you're doing right now and here. Focus just on that. And then by doing that, you'll be much more efficient. You will be probably even faster in accomplishing what you're doing. And definitely efficient, and you're not wasting energy, because when you waste the energy, then usually by the end of the day, you're so run down that, again, that's part of the stress, isn't it? And mostly what is probably one of the more important things is to be aware. Be aware. Be aware when you begin to stress, because once you're aware of it, now you can do something about it. then you can say, wait, I'm spinning. I'm spinning because I'm thinking of 5, 6, 7, 10 things that I need to do, and I can't forget. Then you grab your paper, you grab your phone, write it down. All right, good. Now that part is quiet. And then you can go back to whatever you're doing and focus on that. You don't have to be thinking what's coming down the road. When you finish with that, go to your list. What's next? And then cross off one and go to the next one. And you, again, it begins to really, your whole life becomes much more efficient and productive, really, much more productive. So you can also, when you become aware of stressing, stop. And you can also do this exercise where you just take a nice, long, deep breath. Actually, take a few longer breaths. Why? When we become anxious or stressed or worried, we tend to breathe shorter, quicker breaths, don't we? Because that's part of the body feels like I'm not having enough air. I need to survive. I need to more. And it begins to breathe differently, not the way we normally do. So when we recognize that we're stressing and you stop and just take a nice long deep breath in and you breathe out through your mouth and you do it again and do this slowly, breathing through your nose, count to 5, and then breathe out, counting to 5. Again, in 5, out 5. And then slowly increase it and do it a little longer. By doing this, you're really kind of tricking your mind into saying, hey, everything is okay, and your body relaxes and it doesn't stress anymore. Another big help when you do these breathers, do them with a smile. Because you know what? Your body responds, your brain rather, responds when you smile. It already sends a brainwave to your brain, to the unconscious mind, the one that's not even aware of what's going on yet, that everything is okay. And when it does that, it sends the chemicals and the signal to your body, hey, it's all right. Calm down. So by doing the slow breathing with a smile and add in, everything is all right. Everything is okay. It's fine. I'll get this done. You'll be able to stop that reaction, that unconscious reaction of the fight or flight system. Because again, the fight or flight system happens before you're even aware that you're in danger, right? Think about it. When you hear a certain kind of an alarm, you automatically it's like, oh, it's an alarm for this or that, or even your phone, right? Haven't you ever heard someone else's phone ring and it's the same ringtone and you automatically react? You didn't think about it. Oh, it didn't come from my pocket. That's your second reaction. It didn't come from my wallet, from my pocket, or from my purse. You hear it and you react. And that's how we do so many things in our life. When we see a big pile, automatically, it's, oh my gosh, I won't be able to do this. I can't finish this. All these emails that I have to answer. Well, you know what? Go through those emails. Go quickly and say, oh, this one is, junk. This is no, I don't need this. I don't need, oh, this one is for free. You can just sort them out. Again, this goes back to the first one. Break it down. Break it down. And really sometimes how much, how much do we take on that we may not need to take on because we can't say no? Think about that as well. It's okay to sometimes say, you know what? Maybe not today. Today I won't do this, or today I'm not going to add this to my list because it's okay. I can do that tomorrow or the next day. We are such a fast-paced society that we're almost not even aware that we just don't know how to say no. And then everything has to be so quick and fast that we actually have less patience. So allow yourself to have a bit more patience and you know what? No, I'm not doing this today. I am instead going to take my time and do something else that maybe needs a bit more devotion. Or, if your kids have 3 birthday parties, well, choose one, maybe 2. They don't have to do all 3. It's okay. It's all right, you know? So break things down. Take your time and then be in the moment by focusing only on the thing that you're working on at the moment, right? You go pick up someone after work. If you're sitting in traffic, hey, you know what? Turn on the music, smile, look at license plate. I like to do that when I'm sitting in traffic. It's so much fun to look at license plates and the little messages that they have sometimes, or names, or even look at patterns. It's really sometimes really interesting what patterns you find in all around you, actually. And then when you just get busy with that, you don't realize suddenly, oh, really, I'm already here. Time passed, and you were distracted and you didn't sit there spinning. All right. Um, when you do this throughout the day, the calming down and unstressing, then by the end of the day, you will be noticing also that you can sleep better. By sleeping better, automatically in the morning, when you wake up, you already have a big advantage because you're calmer. You are actually already calmer. Your stress level is really almost to zero. And then you start the day so much better. And then don't wait till you're very stressed, where your stress level is really high. Do these little exercises. Do it at lunchtime. Do it before lunchtime. You have a little break in between in the morning. Take a 30 seconds or a minute. It doesn't have to be more than that, but it will have a huge effect, positive effect on you. So do this throughout the day. And again, by the end of the day, your stress level won't be so high, which means you can actually go to sleep better and rest much better for sure. It will avoid your headaches, rashes, everything else that stress can begin to accumulate and affect you. Well, I hope this has helped you. This is Maria-Pilar Gonzalez, and I'm a hypnotherapist and life coach, and I do all things that has to do with the unconscious and realizing how these patterns um, begin to affect us, and they're patterns that we don't even know we have. But again, awareness. So now you're aware, now you have your tools, and I hope you can use them. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.